back to Karoma Sports Ground this afternoon for today's reserve grade fixture between Orara Axemen and the Woolgoolga Seahorses. Should be a pretty tight contest here this afternoon. I think both sides coming off a win last week. You know, the Axemen obviously a narrow win over Nambucca, looking to hopefully go back-to-back wins here at home.
Hey Hayden, how you going?
I'm good, Jared. I'm joined by Jared Bird in the commentary this afternoon for both the reserve grade fixture and the first grade fixture on our other stream. So welcome back to the live stream. Apologies to anyone who was wondering where the ladies league tag stream was. Unfortunately it's a little bit delayed, so you'll be able to watch that one on YouTube tonight. So make sure you subscribe to the Kyle Hands Media page channel so that you can watch that one back.
Doing a minute of silence right here, so it won't be a sec.
So obviously, unfortunately earlier this year, former Axemen and former Woolgoolga Seahorse member Kurt Schumann tragically passed away. So we're just going to see a minute's silence here just in his honour. Obviously his son leading out the reserve grade side. Great stuff there. You see that's Rara Valley's own Troy Robinson. Just a little didgeridoo there, just in honour of Kurt Schumann. As you see both Regan, son of Kurt, and Troy just embraced in the middle of the park there. So we get ready to rip in here for our reserve grade clash this afternoon. Axemen kicking off, kicking into the wind and running into the wind to start off.
And it sure is windy, isn't it? Gosh, all the papers are flying everywhere, but rugby league's back on. It should be a good game.
Should be, indeed. So hopefully the reserve grade team can get on the back of what the ladies just did in the league tag and get a W here this afternoon. As we see, Woolgoolga now starting with the ball. There's a strong carry there from their 10. That's Brisley.
Should be a really important one, as we said before. It's top of the ladder.
It is quite.
For his first grade, but this game here is still competitive. Woolgoolga have always had a bit of a strong team over the last couple of years, but of course, we're going to be a bit biased because we want Orara to win.
That's exactly right. As you see, Schumann now is taking it up to the 40. It's dragged down by Schofield. So Dion Ma flying up out of the line, collects the player high there. That's Tyler Murden there. Just trying to inspire his side early there, Dion Ma, and just still going a little bit high. So touch finder now from Murden.
Had a long career for Woolgoolga, still does, but did play a little bit for Coffs Comets. A little stint there, but never played for Orara. Interesting.
Tyler Murden talking about.
Sure are.
So we see Woolgoolga now going on the attack quite early here now, about 20 metres out from the Axemen line. So a bit of pressure to absorb here to start off with. You see what Woolgoolga have in attack. So they look to go to their left now. Seymour onto Anderson. Anderson is Schumann. Is it Schumann? I apologise if I'm mispronouncing that one. Seymour back inside to Brisley. He's a big man. Brisley is wrapped up on the line there though. Tackle had to be made by the Axemen. The dummy half now just goes for a scoot, and Andy Gardner just swallows him up and drags him down now.
It looks like he didn't really know where to go at some stages.
A little bit of miscommunication there. A bit of a fumble from Murden as it goes backwards, but the referee's going to say that's a knock on there. So a little bit, potentially unlucky there, Murden. I thought it went over the shoulder, but the referees called it a knock on nonetheless. So the Axemen get away with one there after giving away an early penalty, and they'll have a scrum on their own 10-metre line.
As they feed the scrum there, Jared Gill running it up straight away down the middle. Jared's pretty good.
So Jared,
don't call him Jared Hall, though. He absolutely hates it.
So shrugging off a couple of defenders there and proving a bit of a handful there, Gill.
Yeah, or Hall. No, not Hall. Gill. Oh, come on! I mean, bad luck.
Shannon Kennedy just puts down the ball right on top of the 20-metre, on the 30-metre line there, and puts his team back under pressure as Woolgoolga go back on the attack now. There's a scoot there from their dummy half, Vidler.
That's what we call an open invitation to Woolgoolga.
So a bit of a scrappy start here for the Axemen. Penalty and now an error. Some more goal line defence. They come left through Sanders. Sanders short ball to Schumann.
Older brother to James Sanders, who we were playing in the first grade. Bit of a fact there.
Quite good Tom Sanders. As Seymour now takes on the line. Blake Seymour. There's a bit of a fumble there. I think he might have lost it. Yeah. And the referee's going to say there was a hand in there that helped it out, I think. Oh, no, he's not. He's just going to say it was a lost ball in the ruck there. So the Axemen again led off the hook. Both sides just a little error happy in the opening stages here.
Coach's instructions to Orara is to lift. Obviously meaning defence lift, not the soft drink.
So as you see Watson taking it up. Lacey goes for a scoot out of dummy half there.
Lacey's been playing well.
Lacey's been that old head that you need in a side. Never gives up. Scott Lacey.
Did you ever play with Scott Lacey?
I played with Scotty a few times. Yeah, a few years. Scotty, as I said, he's like part of the furniture here at the club. He's always around, and he manages to make his way back. As Andy Gardner now up over the 40-metre line for the Axemen. It's Robinson looking for an early kick here. Just kicking it into the teeth of the wind. Bit of confusion at the back, and it's picked up there by Carter.
That's a lot of confusion.
And he's pulled down by, I think that was Giles Donovan there in the 5 jersey. As Clancy Brown can't make the shot. As Troy Robinson up underneath the winger for Woolgoolga. I'm not sure what the penalty's going to be for. It's maybe a little bit of an elbow in there from Troy Robinson, just trying to inspire his side. But just another error here for the Axemen, or another penalty given away.
Once again, another invitation really to Woolgoolga to come and play.
So the ball's been played pretty much exclusively down this end of the park for this game so far, as Dion Ma gets in underneath there with some assistance from Watson over the top.
That's the skinniest forward I've ever seen, anyway.
As Seymour takes on the line himself now, and he's
middle.
dragged down by the ankles from Scott Lacey. As Murden goes left to Sanders, Schumer running right, Carter goes out to onto his centre out that side. That's Sadler, and Sadler's brought down about 25 out from the line. Schumerman now. Long, wild pass back to the middle. Brisley ends up with it, and he's grabbed around the ankle, skips out of the Watson tackle, but he's met there by Robinson and Dyson over this underneath.
What do you think of Orara's defence so far?
It's been pretty resolute so far. We've asked plenty of questions. Just to see Anderson with the Sanders, with the kick through. Oh, and a bit of a high shot there on Giles Donovan. Picked up by the referee, and he's gonna get his side out of trouble there, Giles Donovan. Good positioning from fullback there. Sanders spotted a little bit of space behind and grub it in, but Donovan was across to pick that one up, and just a bit of a lazy arm hung out from Sanders on the chase through and collected him on the chin. So it looks like Schofield out that side going to look to find touch, try and get the Axemen out of trouble, but he's kicked it into the wind. It's hung up and gone nowhere. So massive error there from Nathan Schofield, unfortunately. Sanders comes away with it now. Bit of space out on the right-hand side here. Woolgoolga looking to score in the corner, and they're dragged into touch.
Hey, they got him out.
He's going to be dragged into touch there. Great work. So Webb Forrest took on the defenders, and the troops came in numbers from the Axemen. And I think it was Scott Lacey that did most of the damage to be able to push him into touch. Just watching the replay on my screen here. Yeah, it looks like Scott Lacey coming in late there after the tackle was made. Just bundling the Woolgoolga player into touch. So he's saved his teammates some blushes there, Scott Lacey, by ending up, as we see Brown now going a little bit sideways, a bit of space out there, and tries to run over the winger out on that edge there, who may have copped a knee to the head by the look of things. As we see Gill down the right side, just trying to pinch a few metres there. A bit of a roll on here for the Axemen now. Good run there from Jared Gill.
He's such a hard runner. He's ran at me a couple of times. Obviously playing football.
A bit of push and shove in back play there. Gill not too happy with being held on to by the Woolgoolga marker. So we see Robinson now. Short ball there to Watson. Lovely. Great pass. He's called it forward, the linesman out this side. Not too happy with the call there. The touch from the touchy there, Troy Robinson. Looks like we've stopped for the player down. It's the winger out that side for Woolgoolga. Might be Ben Sanders there, I think. Looks like he might have a bit of claret coming from the head. He might have copped the knee of Clancy Brown as he went in for the tackle there before.
His dad is the coach of the reserve grade. But doesn't look quite concerned, actually. It's quite fine.
So straight to the sideline for Sanders there. It looks like he's going to get replaced with, I'm not sure who it is out
there's
that
actually blood pouring from his head.
Yeah, he's got quite the gash on the forehead there, just above the forehead. It's streaming out blood, so interesting to see if he returns.
I've actually realised I've been saying a lot of things but not being near the mic. Sorry about that.
There's Goldsby there for Woolgoolga now.
Trust me, I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing.
Sanders showing some fleet footwork there. He's eventually dragged down by Shannon Kennedy. Very slow play the ball there from Sanders.
It's like Orara's taking the wind out of him a bit. I don't know, that's just what I thought.
So we see there the 12, that's Giroux. Seymour shrugging off, gets a fine to pass to Murden. Murden with support on the outside, slips over, and he's crunched on the ground by Troy Robinson there. He's got the headband on today, Troy Robinson, getting the hair out of the faces.
Yeah, it's good to see culture out there.
So you see Dyson and Brown doing the damage there on Brisley. Last play here now. It's a bit of a fumble there from Murden once again. Pressure from Dion Maher has come up with the error there, Tyler Murden on the last play.
It's like a mental game. I think Woolgoolga is slightly getting frustrated that they're not usually getting to where they usually get by getting, 2 points, a couple of tries into it. They're not used to it.
So yeah, so it looks like the Axemen defence just sort of challenging the Woolgoolga side so far and putting some pressure on the halves and making them make plays, which so far haven't been able to do so. So Tyler Merton is quite a dangerous player, but see if you can get to him early, can sometimes go missing as Dyson out of dummy half.
That's a great run.
It was a good strong carry there.
So confident too when he did it.
Shrugging off some defenders as the ball comes to Schofield now. Schofield off the right foot. Can't beat Brisley. Dyson into dummy half there. Andy Gardner ends up with it, and he comes back to the other side of the ruck now. Dion Maher with the ball. Dion Maher dragged down from the ankles there. So last play here, about 42 out from the Woolgoolga line. Troy Robinson will go to the air. End over end kick there. It's going to end up in the hands of the Axemen number 2 out that side. That's Dodson, and just couldn't get a handle on the ball. Got the bounce. He was after Dodson, but just bit of a juggle and
bounced away from him too.
Just ended up knocking that one forward. So it's going to be a changeover there. So still 0-0 so far. We've had about 10 minutes of game time. And quite an evenly matched contest so far. It's been obviously a few errors, a few penalties from both sides. The Axemen really playing most of the game down their own end of the field, with Woolgoolga having a majority of the territory so far.
This has been physical.
It has been
really
physical. And obviously the wind's been a bit of a challenge as well, as we see Schuerman out that side running into Kennedy and Schofield also in that tackle. Slow play the ball. Seymour goes back to the middle. That's Giroud. And he's taken low by Kyle Dyson. Andy Gardner over top as Merton will look to go to the sky now. Bit of a wobbler. Giles Donovan does well there to come forward and take that one. Can't do a whole lot more once he's taken it, but that's all his side needed him to do. So Plummer goes for a scoot now, trying to give his forwards a little bit of a rest. And Sanders over the top. I think that's Sanders out there.
It sure is.
No, it's the 8 actually.
Oh,
Apologies,
no.
that's Swatton.
So many Sanders, you think half the team's Sanders.
It's Kennedy now, playing the ball on the 30-metre line. Plummer, a little bit of a juggle in his hand. It's Kennedy looking to come for a bit of a spell. So not a lot of metres in this set for the Axemen once again. Again, hemmed in their own end quite easily as Schofield fashions a kick, but again it holds up in the breeze, and Qatar ends up with it on his own 40 and manages to bring it back to about 5 metres short of the halfway line. Brisley jumps into dummy half. The 14 there is Spicer, and he's monstered. So Gill in to do some work for his side from out on that right edge. This ball comes left now to Sanders. Sanders again, the short ball. Looks like they have quite a strong combination there. Schuerman and Sanders.
Like really
Gill does the job there. Great low tackle there from, I think that's Mitch Crawford out that side. He was asking for me to give him some raps on the commentary last week, but a great tackle there from Crawford had to be made. Merton with the little grubber in behind, regathers Merton. He beats a couple, Tyler Merton, and does it on his own. Well, as you can see, he'll run around underneath the post there, but just a little bit of eyes up footy, a bit of creativity from Tyler Merton, the 7 from Woolgoolga, and they're going to hit the front first.
The old chip and chase and caught him off guard.
Yeah, and some fleet footwork. So the little grubber through, got some footwork, and then still had plenty to do, Tyler Merton. Jammed off his right foot as the winger was coming in. Plummer couldn't make the tackle from behind, and he's going to go over Tyler Merton. So the Woolgoolga Seahorses hit the front first here, 4 points to 0. So we've had about 14 minutes of game time. So still pretty tight contest thus far, but just the field position.
That's really interesting.
Woolgoolga have had.
14 minutes of just constant backwards and forth, attacking, defending. Pretty incredible. I could probably only last 14 seconds, let alone 14 minutes.
It's been a bit of a grind here in the early stages of this game, but should probably expect it to open up a little bit there. Wonder what sort of impact that Tyler Merton try will have as Merton looks to convert his own try, and will probably be able to do so comfortably, and does that. So Woolgoolga out to a 6 points to 0 lead to start off with here as Andy Gardner gets himself a well-earned break. You see. So a couple of changes here for the Axemen, getting some fresh bodies on there after a lot of defence so far. So a couple of messages coming in. Obviously Ricky Thorncroft says, come on boys. Graham Howland, afternoon gang. Busy but still watching, so we appreciate that, Graham.
How much will this wind have an effect on the play, do you reckon?
They'll have a lot of an impact, both with obviously kicking games for both sides, but also running into the wind can be quite taxing. It makes it that little bit harder to make yards up the field. So you'll see sort of at the moment that Woolgoolga are making meters easily as we see a bust from the number 9. It's got no support so far, the number 9, as Watson's back there, and Giles Donovan also makes the tackle. But Woolgoolga again busting up the middle through the number 9 there. That's Vidler. There's Sanders now. He's dragged down, but there's a penalty called, so they didn't get back on side, the Axemen there. Didn't retreat back to 10, and Sanders just found them out on that right-hand edge. But it's a great work from Matt Vidler there, just busting up through the middle for Woolgoolga. And again, they're right on the front foot. So you just asked the question about how much of a factor the wind plays. And as you can see, Woolgoolga doing it quite easily with the wind at their back at the moment, and the Axemen under pressure for pretty much most of this first half so far. So as the ball comes to the right now, as it comes out to Qatar. Qatar turns the ball back inside for the 4. The 4 is Goldsby. And Goldsby's going to cross for Woolgoolga. So he's getting held up there. So great work from Giles Donovan underneath there, the fullback from the Axemen, coming across and making a try saver right on over the in-goal line. I thought he scored for all money there.
They're really protesting too, Woolgoolga. They're jumping up and down saying, where's our try, where's our try? But the ref made a good call.
So still a couple of plays for Woolgoolga here now. So they come to the left now. Sanders, Schuerman out the back to Qatar. Numbers out on that right-hand side, and they're going to cross out wide there. That's Reece Sadler out there for Woolgoolga in the 3. And just like that, Woolgoolga go bang, bang, and take a 10-point lead in this first half.
That's a try there to Woolgoolga's Reece Sadler. Takes the score out to Woolgoolga 10 with a kick to come.
So 10-0, so again, the line break through the middle of the field, just some tired bodies throwing out an arm there. Vidler busts through, and the momentum for Woolgoolga.
They caught him short.
Just the consistent momentum there, really. The Axemen just on their heels out on that right edge, and numbers. Great ball from Sanders. Found Qatar, who found his centre, who just went in untouched. So a few things to sort of fix up here, a few effort areas just sort of lacking for the middle players at the moment. Just needing to probably get back into the grind a little bit after Woolgoolga have just jumped out to a lead. So back-to-back sets they've scored, Woolgoolga. A couple more changes being made in that middle third with Dyson coming off.
He's listed as one of the best kickers in the group, actually, Tyler Martin.
I believe I think he's leading the point scoring in reserve grade currently as well. So
by the way, if I say too many positive things about Woolgoolga, let me know.
He's quite a good goal kicker, but he's obviously got quite a hefty wind challenging him here. So got our lovely Katie Fletcher's just message just on the live stream chat saying, "Let's go, boys." So appreciate the support. Obviously Stephen Setnich, first grader, not able to make it to the ground today, or if he is here, he's just on the live stream watching as well. So appreciate the support as Murden strikes that one and can't convert the try out there. So the score is going to remain 10 points to 0. Woolgoolga leading the Axemen with 15 and a half minutes left to go in the first half. So the Axemen have not had any possession down the Woolgoolga's end of the field so far and trailing at the moment. So the win off the kickoffs really not being able to get it too far down the other end. So we see a high short one here. Ball's going to come down, and the ball's going to come away with Watson. So just as I said that, the Axemen haven't had any attacking ball on the Woolgoolga line. They get a result from the kickoff. The short one from Troy Robinson ends up in the lap of Watson.
It's like they knew you were going to say it.
The commentator's curse worked in reverse.
It sure did.
So we see Brown now in the 13, and he's had to go back to retrieve that one, and he was met with some solid contact. Quick play the ball, though. So we see 14, that's Smits-Morris there. So the ball comes to the right now. The ball goes through the hands of Schofield. He's put it down, Schofield. And Woolgoolga have then picked it up. The referee's called 6 to go, said it's backwards off Schofield. And then the Woolgoolga players put it down as we see Gill going on his own, and he's picked up in a good, solid tackle there out that right-hand side. Not sure who made that for Woolgoolga, but great tackle. Schofield back to the middle now. So we see the 15. That's Archibald, is it?
Sure is. I know that ball head from anywhere.
So we see Troy Robinson with Watson hitting a straight, hard line there, but he's met by two Woolgoolga defenders. Still set up on this left-hand side here now, and the ball goes out the back of the Axemen. Troy Robinson's put it down, and it's eventually gone back and picked up there by Dodson. So they lost a little bit of momentum there. Scott Lacey scooting back to the middle. He's run into Vidler. He meets him solidly. So one play left to go. Big numbers to the right if they can go through the hands here now. They're going to find the kick. Robinson goes out to the wide, and the ball's taken there by Woolgoolga. Good, solid catch from the winger out that side. Had Wayne Brown, I think that's out there in the wing, on the wing position in the 1 jersey, all over him. But comes away with the solid catch, and Woolgoolga work it away from their own end now.
Just so unlucky. Scott Lace though. Yeah, it's going to be a flat tire. The boot. Go. Oh, you got it back on. It's all right.
So then a compound of, unfortunately there, Schofield just hanging on a little bit longer, and he's giving away another penalty to allow Woolgoolga out of their own end. As Murden, though, has made a meal of the kick.
He is human.
He's made a meal of the kick and kicked it straight down Brown's throat, standing on the 50-metre line. So, and there's Crawford now absorbing that contact and continuing on. Gets a little bit of a facial there from the 14. That's Spicer from Woolgoolga. As Brown now goes a little bit across field.
Brown going downtown.
He does well there, Clancy Brown. Dragged down 20 metres out from the Woolgoolga line. Dodgy pass from the 14, Morris. Ends up with Archibald, and he goes across field, and he's collared by Schumann. Dragged down. It's never fun getting a jersey grab like that, and he might have hurt himself here, Archibald. To be clutching at the back of his neck. I'm not sure if he's done a bit of an injury here in that swinging motion from Schumann. So just a little bit of a break in play here now.
Have you ever got a good jersey swing?
Oh, plenty of jersey swings in my time, mate.
But they've made it harder, haven't they? Due to they got rid of the collars and everything on the jerseys.
Yeah, so most sides now don't run around with a collar anymore, probably because of the jersey swing.
Yeah.
Unless you see your retro jerseys getting around, and sometimes the odd team will bring back a collar.
All the old boys around.
Yeah, the old boys around that can bust out a collar from time to time. So just a bit of a break in play here at the moment, guys. Woolgoolga leading 10 points to 0, but the Axemen on the attack. Weren't able to come away with any points in their first raid and only raid down this end. But Tyler Murden, failure to find touch off a penalty has allowed the Axemen to go back on the attack here now, as Archibald looks like he's going to come from the field. He looks to be in some discomfort. Might be a leg injury, so might have buckled himself underneath there as he was sort of swung around from Schumann. It's an unfortunate sight for an Axemen fan, seeing Archibald limp off there.
It's a shame, he's a great guy. He's also on the radio too, on One Mob Radio. You can watch Jack Archibald when he's not playing football. Hopefully he can walk better in a couple of days, but that does look pretty serious.
Yeah, so you can't put any pressure on that one out there, as it looks like Kennedy's going to come back to replace him. So Woolgoolga on top here at the moment, but the Axemen
Do you think this break's good for the Axemen?
It should hopefully allow potentially some air back in the lungs, more so for the defending side in Woolgoolga have had to absorb some pressure, but as Gill now taking on the line, gets his bumpers up and he's upended in a tackle there, but legal says the referee, as he plays it on the 10 now. Schofield comes left to Robinson, and Robinson with a little grubber in behind. Watson for chasing through, and Watson's going to score! Oscar Watson chasing the Troy Robinson grubber, and he scores in the in goal, and this bit of push and shove in back play here now.
Whoopi did not like points scored against them.
As Watson crosses, great kick chase there. Looked like a bit of a set play there. They'd constructed that one off the restart. As Robinson gets the ball in his hands, just a deft little kick in behind the line, and had both Giles Donovan on the outside and Oscar Watson, the try scorer, streaming through, gets the bounce, steps off his leg, Oscar Watson, and gets the Axemen on the board for the first time here.
It's like Troy Robinson can just see it coming, you know? It's fantastic.
He's got a great feel for the game, Troy Robinson. All of that experience. He's played a lot of footy at a lot of different levels, and just notice the depth on the Woolgoolga fullback. Just dropped in a deft little grubber kick just in behind the defensive line, but not too deep that the fullback was able to cut it off. Great play for the Axemen to hit back. 10 points to 4 with a kick to come. So exactly what we needed with just under 10 minutes to go here in the first half.
Perfect for another one just before half time.
That would be ideal if they were able to sort of jag another quick try, as Woolgoolga did early in the first half. They went bang, bang, back-to-back sets.
What do you think Orara need to be doing straight up, you reckon?
It's just ball security and just cutting out the silly errors at the moment. So Woolgoolga aren't doing a lot to really stifle the Axemen. They're getting a good roll on, but obviously errors, and then once we turn the ball over, we're giving away penalties. So just relieving all of that pressure and allowing Woolgoolga to come out of their own end quite easily, which you can't really do running into this sort of wind. So I think it's interesting to see what sort of lead Woolgoolga have into the first half, because
that Tyler Murden, kick for touch was a huge turning point.
That could be a very huge turning point in the game, as you said there. So failure to find touch from the number 7 for Woolgoolga allowed the Axemen to have their first sort of field position of the game and come away with points. As he gets us back underway, Murden, the ball goes down to Schofield with a little bit of a juggle there, but he gets it onto Kennedy, who makes a beeline back to the middle. Great work from Shannon Kennedy.
Great work.
Just getting on the inside of 2 defenders there and getting his team almost back to the 30-metre line off the kickoff. That's a great start to the set, as Old Faithful Dion Ma does what he does best and just trucks the nut up the middle. It's Watson now into some solid contact. That's Webb Forbes there. As Troy Robinson looks for an early kick here now. The wind holding it up. Going to find touches it. Scott Lacey gets a toe on it. Gets another toe on it there. And a third toe here from... And it's eventually dived on there by the Woolgoolga player tracking back. But some enterprising play. And we're going to be brought back for a kicker in front. Chaser in front of the kicker, sorry. So it must have been
so disappointing. I nearly fell off my chair.
It must have been the second kick there that they were just in front of and got involved in the play. So we see Stiffy on the text line, on the message line saying nice Watto. As we see another penalty here given away from Troy Robinson, high shot. So back-to-back penalties again. The Axemen just relieving all of the pressure that they just created on the Woolgoolga side, allowing them out of their own end with back-to-back penalties. And they're going to start their set right on the 40-metre line, the Axemen's end of the park.
Yeah, he doesn't make that mistake twice, Tyler, for kicking for touch.
No, he found his range there and made sure of that one. As the 13 there is Seymour, I believe. Oh, sorry, no, that's 10 in Brisley. So Burrows is met in a solid shot there from Watson. Good tackle from Watson there. Sanders left to the 8 in Swatton. And Swatton's dragged down Schofield underneath. Short side here from Woolgoolga. Sanders takes on the line himself, but he's swallowed there by Shannon Kennedy, who's been in quite a bit since he's got on. Bit of a tangle up in the play of the ball, and a lost play of the ball, and let go by the referee. So they turn it back inside, and again Kennedy over the top with some strong contact. Brown in underneath to chop out the legs. The ball comes right to Murden. Murden puts it on the toe, but Giles Donovan comes through and swoops on it. Great work from the fullback again. He showed some good positional play here this afternoon.
That's fantastic, you know, really trying to push up there in the middle and not getting worried or anxious, you know. This is the best defense I've ever seen Reggie's play for Orara.
It's been good. It's been good defence. Have had to absorb a little bit of it so far. There's
Oh, come on.
push and shove in there. Got away with one where they're the Woolgoolga centre. It's Crosley, I think it is.
It sure is.
Goldsby, sorry. It's a long ball here out to the wing. Giles Donovan's away down the right-hand side. He dummies to Troy Robinson back on the inside. And gets dragged into touch. So he's been put away down the touchline by Troy Robinson there, Giles Donovan. And he comes back infield and gets dragged into touch by the Woolgoolga winner. Although Touchy and the reserve grade referee having a bit of a discussion here. Scott Lacey and Troy Robinson joining in also. But I think it's going to be Woolgoolga ball here.
Yeah, for holding.
Oh, so Woolgoolga player has been dragged off the ball there. So as Giles Donovan's been made that break down that left-hand touchline, looks like one of the Axemen has dragged back one of the Woolgoolga players. So again, another penalty Woolgoolga. I would hate to see the penalty count right about now. I'd say it's probably around 7 or 8-1. Axemen giving away far too much ball to the Woolgoolga side at the moment. Still trailing 6 points to 10 with about 3 minutes left to go in this half.
Oh, so definitely is getting interesting, and it looks like Woolgoolga are just trying to... Oh, incorrect play of the ball. With a penalty.
So a little bit of crowding from Kyle Dyson there, and the hand in there has knocked the ball free, says the referee. Scott Lacey wants to come and have a chat to the referee, but Seymour taps and gets on with things. Quick tap there. So a couple of minutes of attack here to withstand for the Axemen. So Woolgoolga once again on the line as Troy Robinson comes in late there and some heavy contact. He leaves Andy Gardner on the ground. As the ball, a bit of a juggle from Woolgoolga, manages to hold on to the ball there. It's wrapped up by Brown. Seymour out of dummy half, can't beat the markers. As they come to the left here now, Sanders onto Carter. Carter numbered up well out that side the Axemen, and there's no way through. So Carter will have to play it on the 10-metre line. Murden now with the crossfield chip. A great take out this side from Dobson. What a take. And he's grabbed by the collar and makes his way back into the field of play. And he's going to get a penalty for his side, as well as Webb Forrest might have been offside on the kick chase.
There's only 1:50 left too, so let's see what Orara can do with it.
But that was a fantastic take.
Oh, I think it's coming to us, the ball. No, it's not. Okay, don't worry.
So one set here. We'll see what the Axemen can do from their own end. About a minute and a half left in this first half. Trailing 6 points to 10. Watson now to hit it up here. He goes straight. It's Andy Gardner now. He looked for support on his right-hand side. Didn't have any, so he took the tackle. Dyson. It's Brown now. Trying to fight his way through the tackle there. Again, they go to the right through Schofield. Schofield finds Gill. Gill beats the first, off his left, off his right. He's still going, Jared Gill. Still going, Jared Gill. He's really fighting in those tackles there, Gill. Does some great work.
It's like he's got Vaseline on him.
Nobody wanted to attack him. Bit of a dodgy pass there. Brown ends up with it. So Woolgoolga players all in front of him. Skips through the first though, Brown, and is eventually dragged down about 20 metres out from the Woolgoolga line. Last tackle here now. Shooter comes out of the line on Robinson, and Robinson gets a little kick in eventually. ball ends up with Watson somehow. Not too sure what happened here, but it's going to be a play the ball. I'd say that's going to be, looks like he's going to say held there from Watson was held with the ball. So Woolgoolga will have it 20 out from their own line with
There's only 10 seconds to go.
So they'll get maybe one play in Woolgoolga here. And it looks like they're going to go there. And they're just going to hit this one up here now. So it's the the 18 there. That's Smith that takes the tackle. And that will do us for the first half here. So
It's been really good. I feel like I'm
Woolgoolga
watching it.
Seahorses jumping out to a 10 points to 0 lead early in the first half. Back-to-back tries in back-to-back sets. And then the Axemen hit back with a little crubber from Troy Robinson to Oscar Watson to hit back with about 10 minutes left to go in the first half. So 10 points to 6 will be the halftime score. Woolgoolga leading in this reserve grade fixture.
Feels like a grand final. We'll be back.
There's plenty to play for here in the second half, so make sure you join us again. And remember to like, subscribe, and share the stream so that other people can watch it if you're watching from home. See you back here shortly.
Grand gala opening of Garlo's Pies.
Celebrating 20 years, and Garlo's Pies are still bursting with flavour. Deliciously flaky pastry on top, a bottom rolled extra thin, and 100% lean Aussie beef. Yep, some things never change. An all-Australian family-owned and operated business producing only the best quality premium pies. Garlo's Pies, still thin on pastry, still big on meat.
Welcome to the new Mooney Beach Hotel. New food. New friends. The same family feels. The Mooney Beach Hotel, where it feels like family.
Welcome to the Tormina Hotel. The Tormina Hotel, your place to celebrate on the coast.
The Sawtell Hotel. Surfside bar and dining. Come and try the delicious menu. Friends, family, and fun. Come and see us at the Sawtell Hotel.
I've been around the game 15 years now, but it's my first year here in Country Rugby League with the Orara Valley Axemen and women. all behind us. But I met John here. It's come up with a great concept for the welfare and the benefit of our players. It's called our 200-ton raffle club. Concept is 100 tickets at $200 a pop. It's to create a fund to protect our players for any upcoming injuries or hardships that we might face. Great initiative, John. I'm on board. I have tickets. I support the welfare of our players. Over to you, John. How do we get involved?
Thanks, Sam. The best way to get involved, and we urge you all to do so, is to purchase tickets. How do you do that? The best way to do that is to go through the QR code, or to go to the Orara Axemen website or our Facebook page. It's really simple. Just follow the prompts. Get on board. Let's go, Axemen.
Yo, let's go! Let's go, let's go! Yeah. Let's do 2 more.
Mike Blewett Coffs Coast, a family business that's been there every step of the way with the local community for over 40 years now. Through the good times and the tough times, we've travelled the road together. But we don't just see ourselves as running a business here. After all, we're locals too. We raise our families here, enjoy the lifestyle here, and see our futures right here. A truly local business then, that's been giving back to the community through sponsorship of the Sawtell Surf Lifesaving Club, Coffs Ocean Swims, Woolgoolga Curry Fest, Coffs Coast Tigers Junior Football, Coffs of Stedford, and the now famous $5,000 cash draw giveaways. The dealership, which recently added the Mercedes-Benz Retailer of the Year to the many awards already received from Ford, Isuzu and Kia, also stock a large selection of locally traded vehicles for you to inspect on our website at any time. You can be assured that whatever the challenges ahead may be, Mike Blewett Coffs Coast will be right there, moving forward with you.
Locally owned and operated, Coffs Harbour Hardwoods provide a wide range of beautiful hardwood timber products to Australia for over 50 years. We are specialists in hardwood timber, including flooring, decking and much more. Coffs Harbour Hardwoods.
When people think of renewables, they think of wind farms or solar panels, but they don't think of forests or building with wood. Responsibly sourced wood is not only renewable, but sustainable too. Because it stores carbon for life, absorbed from the atmosphere by growing trees. When wood is harvested today, it's replanted for tomorrow, and that's why wood is the ultimate renewable.
Locally owned and operated, Coffs Harbour Hardwoods provide a wide range of beautiful hardwood timber products to Australia for over 50 years. We are specialists in hardwood timber, including flooring, decking and much more. Coffs Harbour Hardwoods.
Welcome back to our live stream of this afternoon's reserve grade clash between the Woolgoolga Seahorses and your Orara Axemen here at Caramba Sports Ground.
So tight right now.
Lots to play for here, with Woolgoolga taking a narrow lead, 10 points to 6 into the halftime break. The Axemen with the wind at their backs in this half, so hopefully that should play a role and help with both obviously field position, so territory on the field, and then potentially as well the kicking games.
Yeah, especially kick for touch too. So a lot of errors.
So we see Murden now driving it low and hard, trying to negate that wind. Schofield has to scramble forward to pick it up, and he does so. There's Gill now out of dummy half, and he's swung around in a solid tackle there, loses the ball out the back. It's picked up by Schofield though, and he's then set upon by Schuerman. And again, Gill from out of dummy half trying to make amends for the play before. Doesn't make a whole lot of ground, so not going.
Such a gutsy player, you know.
Just keeps going. There's another really strong carry here from Shannon Kennedy, although he might be hurt here, Shannon Kennedy. Some distress from the Woolgoolga number 9, Vidler, showing some concern for him there, but he's on his feet now and looks like he's going to play the ball.
He's a tough bloke.
It's really Robinson looking for the early kick, spirals that one down, finds the ground, and it's going to continue to roll. And Qatar's all the way back for it now, finds it in the corner. Great chase from Giles Donovan.
Yeah,
and they pin him inside that corner there, that 10x10 box that you hear so often in football. And looking to really get aggressive with their defence now and put some pressure on the Axemen as Dyson up nice and quick that time. So that's 3 plays now for Woolgoolga and not going anywhere, just outside their own 10. And the referee's called a halt on time. I think it's Dyson that's down there. Looks to be in a bad way, Kyle Dyson.
He was holding his shoulder, so I think it's a shoulder injury, to state the obvious.
We'll hope it's not too bad there for Dyson, because he's been strong so far this afternoon. An interesting change with Wayne Brown going to fullback for the Axemen at the moment. Normally a halfback, but see what the mercurial Wayne Brown can produce for this reserve grade side this afternoon. Dyson's still being attended to by the trainers here at the moment. Time just ticking away. So again, already the wind playing its role, and I think you might be right there. It might be a shoulder for Dyson. He looks to be holding that right shoulder pretty gingerly at the moment as he receives a clap from both sides and the crowd here.
And us in the commentary box too.
Up here in the commentary box as always.
Yeah, interesting shades you got on.
If you could see them, ladies and gentlemen, they're beautiful, my shades.
You look like a gangster.
As we see Woolgoolga still struggling to come out of their own end, though. It's their number 8, though. Great carry here. Drags defenders up. That's Swatton there. So we see now Woolgoolga just outside their 30, so they'll be kicking potentially from inside their 30. That should be the last. The referee doesn't have his hand in the air, though. So you see Seymour now taking it up to the 40, and that will be the last, says the referee. So Murden will look to send it downtown for the Seahorses. He gets some height on it, but the wind again catches that one. The bounce beats the winger and the fullback there as Dobson's across, and he's grabbed by the collar, shakes off Murden, but Schuerman comes with some help there from Crosby.
And Shannon too.
There's Wayne Brown out of dummy half now. Strong carry from the fullback. Scott Lacey just tips that one onto Oscar Watson.
He's recovered pretty quick, Scott Lacey. Got a little bit injured earlier, but he looks like he's recovered pretty well.
He's done well to come back. And as again, Troy Robinson looking to kick early. And Giles Donovan on the chase. Hot pursuit, Giles Donovan. But Qatar's across to cut it off. And the shot's made there from, again, another high shot from Dion Maher. And he's given away a penalty on the Woolgoolga fullback. So again, that's just let all the pressure out of the game there for Woolgoolga. Just another silly penalty from the Axemen as Tyler Murden will find touch for Woolgoolga.
Oh, the kid didn't catch it, by the way.
About 5 short of halfway. Swatton takes it into the defensive line there as Maher and in that tackle there. Schuerman again, some solid contact from Dion Maher.
It's really in their face, good to see.
Likes to play an aggressive style of football, does Dion Maher. So we see that's Morris making that tackle there. As they come to the right now, Murden with a kick over the top into the corner. He's done very well to track back there. That's Dobson. he's done well to cover across on that one. There's a bit of confusion between him and Brown. As Brown gets through the first, gets through another one, Wayne Brown, and he's had the ball stripped off him there by Sanders. So he's done some really great work there, Wayne Brown, but unable to hold on to the ball as Sanders has come away with it for Woolgoolga, and they'll go right on the attack now through Schuerman. He's dragged down right in front of the uprights, 10 out from the Axemen line. The dummy there from Vidler out of dummy half. He's wrapped up by Scott Lacey. As I think they're in there, Woolgoolga. That looks like it might be number 10 in Conan Brisley. He's going to crash over.
Yeah, that one-on-one strip is huge.
It was a really heads-up play there from Tom Sanders, and he's got his team on the front foot, and they've managed to crack the Axemen early in this second half here.
Crack it slightly, though. We will not go down without a fight.
So still plenty of footy to be played here, and the Axemen have obviously got the talent out on there in the park to be able to put some points on if they need to. Just need to get a little bit more field position. So after having a little bit of dominance early in this second half, the Axemen, a penalty from Dion Maher for the high shot has allowed them to sort of get out of their own end, Woolgoolga, and put the pressure on the Axemen in their attacking half. And they've managed to come away with some points.
Should be able to get this one pretty good.
Should be able to throw this one over Tyler Murden, you would think. Moves in and knocks that one over, so he'll extend the Woolgoolga lead now out to 16 points to 6. It'll be 16-6. Yeah, because it's converted. So Troy Robinson will get the Axemen back underway here, looking for a nice deep one and pin Woolgoolga down their own end, I think. So the ball goes down, bounces in front of Seymour. Seymour juggles it a little bit, manages to hold on to it, gives it off to the try scorer there, and he comes back with a strong carry. Morris down low manages to hang on and make the tackle. So now Carter bringing it away from his own line. Fends away from Schofield, but can't get away from Gill. They come down this left edge again as inside ball there from Sanders to Schuerman, but read well from Gill as he wrapped him up. So right there on the 20-metre line now.
Woolgoolga are really trying to milk it when it comes to penalties.
They are trying to get whatever they can. There's a good shot over the top from Clancy Brown that time. Seymour now taking on the defensive line, and he's dragged down there by Watson in a desperate tackle. Murden now on the front foot, running the ball. Dummies to his right, slips over Tyler Murden, flicks it out the back. Can't get a hold of it, but they go back and clean it up, Woolgoolga, as Vidler fashions a kick. Goes straight down to Joel Donovan, however. And Joel Donovan puts on the afterburners, goes straight through Joel Donovan. No support there, and he's eventually grabbed by the ankles by Seymour, but great work from the Axemen fullback there. Joel Donovan moved back with Wayne Brown, potentially moving into the halves here maybe, but great work there from Joel Donovan. As we see, a bit of an elbow there from the number 3 on Gill. It's Dion Maher with a strong carry.
He's such a good runner.
It's like a ball of muscle, Dion. He's hard to handle.
A ball of everything coming at you, and you don't know what to do.
The ball comes left now. Gardner, short ball to Watson there. So Watson's dragged down 20 out from the Woolgoolga line. Goes left to Troy Robinson. Troy Robinson tries to take on the line himself there, and he's dragged down, and he's lost the ball in the tackle there, unfortunately, Troy Robinson. So the Axemen turn it over once again. So promising chance there to be able to hit back after a fantastic kick return from Joel Donovan, but unable to capitalise at that time out the Axemen. The scrum's going to be packed on the 20-metre line, which is interesting because the tackle was made on the 10. So unless it's been called a forward pass from dummy half here.
Or was it a double knock on? I don't think it was.
No, so the Woolgoolga will feed the scrum. So Murden feeds it now, and it comes to Sanders.
There you go, answer my own question.
It's the 19 there for Woolgoolga. That's Jared Sadler. So a couple of Sadlers, a couple of Sanders out there for Woolgoolga.
It's like they just went to a family home and said, can you all play for our team?
The other Sadler, that's Reese Sadler there. Just trying to pinch a few extra metres, and he's told to go back and play the ball by the referee. Good, strong carry there from the number 10, Brisley, the try scorer, the most recent try scorer for Woolgoolga. Some space down this right edge as Troy Robinson takes the intercept. Troy Robinson, he's got 20 metres to go. Doesn't have the legs anymore, Troy Robinson, and he's dragged down about 10 metres out.
Fantastic.
Well, there was 3-on-1 out there, and Troy's managed to grab an intercept as Watson takes on the line himself, and he's just grabbed by the ankles there. About 5 out from the line. Scott Lacey tries to do the same, and he's going to be held up in goal, Scott Lacey. So, some enterprising stuff there, and a bit of a momentum swinger. Troy Robinson making up for his error just before, getting the ball back for his team on the attack. Clancy Brown now. Clancy dragged down about 10 metres out from the line. Schofield waits at dummy half. Jumps out as dummy half. Schofield doesn't have any runners outside him. He's collected high there, but the referee's he's happy with it and is going to call last tackle as the ball comes left to Troy Robinson. He puts up a bomb in the air. Simple take there for the winger out that side, and it's going to be brought back out to the 20. If he had his time over again there, Troy Robinson, he might have looked to put that one on the ground, but just took to the air, put a little bit too much on it, and Woolgoolga will bring it back from the 20 now, the 7-tackle restart. So Brisley up to the 30.
Gotta be real physical here, Gotta be real physical.
They really need to try and do that as Giroux dragged down there. Crosby. Good footwork there from Crosby. Makes his way into the Axemen side of halfway. They come back to the middle. Seymour is met there by Watson. He fashions an offload though, Seymour, as Vidler goes back through the middle there. Can't get away from Andy Gardner, who grabs him around the bootlaces. So they come left here now. Sanders with some open pasture. Turns the ball back inside to Carter. And Carter gets through the line. Carter has the fullback to beat. Clancy Brown can't get there either. And Carter's going to score for Woolgoolga.
Such a letdown.
Some simple play there from Sanders, just turning the ball back inside, and the sliding defence of the Axemen can't turn to be able to make the tackle. And unfortunately, they've cracked again. So it looked like they were going to score down one end of the field, and just that 7-tackle restart, unfortunately, has allowed Woolgoolga to jump on that front foot. And a simple inside ball. Still had plenty of work to do there, Carter, once he got the ball, but did it pretty comfortably in the end. Stood up Giles Donovan and crashed his way over.
I hope this doesn't have an effect on Orara's confidence. You know, they come all that way, the chip and chase, Troy Robinson got it, and they just let that trying, you know. So I hope that doesn't bring down their confidence.
Well, let's hope that the confidence is not impacted there. So it looks like Troy Robinson's laying down the law to his side there. So they've got some old heads in the team that have been in positions like this before and managed to drag games out of the dirt. So still only 3 converted tries in it, assuming that Murden will knock this one over. It's 20 points to 6 now, with 20 minutes left to go in the second half. That'll make it 22 points to 6 as Murden converts the try.
Successful there, takes the score out to Woolgoolga 22. Let's go, boys!
So again here, the Axemen looking to hopefully look for a long kick and looking to force potentially an error and get themselves on the attack.
Just want to give a shout out to some reserve grade sponsors. We've got Coffs Harbour Hardwoods for your hardwood needs. Get out to
Robinson now gets us back underway. Good kick here.
That's a great kick.
Goes straight down the throat of Schuerman though, and he comes back straight and hard. And Jared Gill tries to put his body in front there and comes off second best against Schuerman, who's dragged towards the sideline and manages to stay in. Oh, and a great shot there from Shannon Kennedy. Solid contact from the number 12 from the Axemen. Really getting stuck into Sadler there.
Looks like Troy's words at the goal line said a lot.
So yeah, it looks like
Said a lot.
those stern words look to have fired up the Axemen here now. So they come back through the middle, Woolgoolga, and get up to the 40. Fairly quick play the ball though, as Seymour jumps out of dummy half. Steals himself about 15 metres there. So Murden again will take to the boot. Gonna find Giles Donovan on the full though. And Giles Donovan, he's had a good game this afternoon, Giles Donovan. Good kick returns, and this is another one. Beats the first defender, but they come in numbers, and they're gonna drag him down just shy of the 30-metre line. Morris in at dummy half, and he finds Brown. Wayne Brown, that is. And solid shot over the top from Schuerman.
Woolgoolga player waving his hand up, wanting to come off.
That's Seymour looking for a bit of a spell there, as Dion Mars dragged down just past the 40-metre line on the Axemen side of halfway. Crawford now. They come left through. Short ball here to Watson. Watson's been dangerous on that edge there. It's a bit of a flop and slow play the ball on the last here. Ball's going to come to Robinson. He's going to take to the air. Spiraling bomb goes down this time. Qatar lets it bounce. It's going to bounce in open pastures. Giles Donovan ends up with it. Can't find a pass though, Giles Donovan, and he's going to turn it over. So they've done such great work on the kick. Chases and just not enough push up there. Didn't have any options there, Giles Donovan, to pass to, and had to take the tackle. But
So
down the right end of the field though for the Axemen, as Webb Forrest tries to bring that one out for Woolgoolga, and he looks to have been hurt here.
It looks like a shoulder again.
It looks like Knowlesy's going on in the 20 jersey there. So great to see Knowlesy out there for one of his first games of the season, making his impact felt. So Katie Fletcher's just popped a message in the chat of the live stream saying, "Absolute machine today, Giles." So yeah, he's been probably one of the Axemen's best this afternoon, Giles Donovan, with his kick returns and his chases. It looks like another shoulder injury here. So Webb Forrest, coming off for Woolgoolga.
I'm really guessing it from a distance too.
Just holding
the
that
injuries.
arm just in a prone position.
What injury did you ever get?
I've had more injuries than you've had hot meals, my friend. As
Holy
we see,
crap, you must be in serious pain.
as we just see now, Giroux bringing it back for Woolgoolga. Hemmed in their own side of halfway here at the moment, though, not really going too far, as we see a good strong run there from the 15. That's Mitchell, and they come to the right now. Last tackle here is a bit of a wobbling kick, comes off the side of the boot of Tyler Murden there, and it's going to trickle into touch. About
15 and a half to go here at reserve grade, and yeah, kind of running a bit of a time for Orara, but I reckon they can come back. As you said before, there's some old heads in the team that can get it through, help them get through.
There do need to be the next to score, and you would think with obviously the time being at that 15 and a half left to go in the game that it needs to be probably the first one pretty quickly for the Axemen. As we see left now, Knowlesy, his first carry, and he cops a high shot over the top there, Knowlesy. He's going to earn a penalty for his side. Still plays the ball though. He's not fazed by the high shot, Knowlesy.
Still
ready
keeping
to
it
go.
consistent.
Gotta love that. So we'll see what the Axemen can put together in this set here as Troy Robinson finds the line 40 out from the Woolgoolga goal line. Lacey with the tap and go. He's brought down 30 out. It's Watson now. Vidler throws everything into that there. Still bounces backwards off him. But Watson's dragged down about 22 out. Plummer, ball out in front there. Finds Schofield now. And Schofield gets it to Gill. Gill beats the first one. Again, with the high contact over the top from Sanders, but no call from the referee. He just lets that one go. So they've still got some life here, the Axemen, as Shannon Kennedy brings it back towards the middle now. And he's eventually wrapped up pretty much right on top of the 10-metre line. Schofield waits at dummy half. They come left now to Robinson. He's got players inside and out, but goes himself, Troy Robinson. Dragged down about 4 short of the Woolgoolga line. Comes right to Schofield. Schofield kicks at it. Vidler plays at it though, so it's going to be 6 more as Crawford picks it up for the Axemen. So a set restart here. A little bit more time for the Axemen to try and crack this Woolgoolga defensive line that's been pretty good so far this afternoon. They've only conceded the try once. They come left now. Robinson onto Brown. Brown finds Lacey. Lacey, and it's just knocked down that last pass there. Tyler Murden out on the wing. Had to make a play at the ball.
I think it went out by Woolgoolga though, didn't it?
And it was, I think, touched by Woolgoolga there.
But they are having the ball, which...
So maybe there was no touch from Tyler Murden that time. The pass must have gone past, and just looking at my replay there, that was 100% touched by Tyler Murden. I was just watching the replay there. You can't see that one at home. I've got a little replay screen here. But
it's a neat little screen too.
Unfortunately, it's a bit of a 50-50 call going against the Axemen there, and Woolgoolga will work it away from their own line now. So you see that's Sadler, Reese Sadler in the 3 jersey. Brought down 25 out from Woolgoolga line. Giroux, strong carry, manages to make about 15 metres on that one. It's Murden now, comes to the right, goes dummies to his right, tries to take on the line himself, Tyler Murden. Skips out of a couple of tackles though, and gets some space out on the right. Carter gets it on.
They knocked it on.
And then Crosby.
Did I say that too loud? I did.
Goldsby, with not a whole lot of defenders in front of him, spilt his lolly. He's just had a bit of a look up when he didn't need to, and has turned the ball back over. So
got a bit excited.
Still a little bit of life for the Axemen here. 12 minutes left to go in the second half. Trailing 22 points to 6. But as we all know, in these reserve grade clashes, points can be put on in a hurry. So they just need 1 here first, the Axemen, and you never know what can happen from that point. As Lacey races in to pack the scrum there. Ball comes away to Brown. Brown's upended on the 50-metre line by Sanders. Dion Maher back towards the ruck.
Such a good player.
It's been very good for his side this afternoon. Robinson now out the back to Andy Gardner. Andy Gardner still fighting Andy Gardner. And he's picked up eventually there.
Literally flying.
Plummer in at dummy half. Crawford. Straight and hard and met in a solid shot over the top there, Crawford. Some strong defence from Woolgoolga here late. As the ball out in front of Schofield, he puts a hand out for it and loses that one.
Orara getting a penalty, it looks like.
Take the tap, mate! Take the tap!
So I think it could potentially be for the late shot on Troy Robinson. He got up and he wasn't too happy about it, Troy Robinson. Swatting it was that hit him late from behind. Just watching it on my replay here, yeah, very late in the back, so definitely deserving of a penalty there. As now Plummer out of dummy half, there's defenders left on the ground and can't make the most of it there, Plummer, as he's dragged down. Comes to the right now, Schofield, short ball here to Gill. Gill runs into 2 Woolgoolga defenders there. Ball should have potentially gone out the back.
His head's had a rough game.
He's done some work. Troy Robinson tries to barge his way in, and he's pulled down about a metre out. Then Dion Maher tries to follow suit, and he's met with some strong Woolgoolga goal line defence there. And he's lost the ball into play the ball, Dion Maher. So just not seemed to work for the Axemen this afternoon. one step forward, one step back with another error in the attacking zone of the Woolgoolga side, but unable to capitalise and come away with any sort of points.
There is 9.5 minutes left.
So there's still game time to happen here, like still time in the game, but you think the Axemen are going to need to really score very, very soon, considering you need to be able to score at least 3 converted tries to be able to pull this one out of the fire. So we see Woolgoolga working away from their own end now. That's Mitchell in the 15 for Whoopi. Sanders again turning it back inside to Burrows. Burrows gets an offload to Vidler. Vidler jinks off his right foot and is eventually dragged down there by Brown. It's Giroux. He's been strong all afternoon in the 12, Woolgoolga. He's made another about 15 metres on that carry there, just getting right on the advantage line. It's Murden. Again, the defence rush out on him. He beats the first and manages to get an offload, but the ref's going to say it went forward that time. Forward. And he might have been injured here, Tyler Murden.
Their best player has just been injured, which is a terrible thing.
It's not great. Never like to see any injuries in the game, but just watching the replay screen here, just to try and see what happened there. I think he just got caught awkwardly underneath. Might be a lower leg injury here for Tyler Murden, which is unfortunate. He's been good this afternoon. If you're a Woolgoolga fan, that is. As an Axemen fan,
he's been terrible.
It's a bit of a bonus to have their halfback sort of. Although this is chewing out a lot of clock at the moment for the Axemen. Obviously, no time off in the reserve grade game.
W2, I want to mention a couple of our sponsors too. Mike Blue with 4 and also Gallows Pies. Then on the pastry with a lot of meat. And get jerky with it, Orara really jerky. And if you want to bet responsibly, go to Bluebet. They'll get you sorted.
So a bit of air's going out of the contest here at the moment. It was obviously the tension's starting to build with the Axemen trying to get something out of this game in the dying moments, but see the injury to Murden has really put a halt on things. Still on the ground at the moment, Tyler Murden. So they've got some comments coming in on the chat line saying put Vikram on. I think Vikram might be suiting up for reserve grade, first grade today. Ryan. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. Hopefully he's backing up. Had a strong return to the Axemen last week. As we see Murden now limping his way off the field pretty well unassisted, which is a really good sign there. Does still look to be in a little bit of discomfort though. He's got a significant limp. Looks to be clutching at a knee. So with this delay in play, we'll probably have around about 6 minutes of game time left to go.
The league safe guy looks like he's in primary school, I think. I know I'm not meant to say that, but I said it.
So we see Troy Robinson playing the ball as Dion Ma trying to inspire his side late here. Takes 4 to bring him down. He gets a lot of work in over the top there from Burrows.
They're really sitting on him too.
So we see that's Andy Gardner there. Clancy Brown now taking on the defenders. Goldsby drags him down about 35 out from the Woolgoolga line. Robinson down the short side. Got some numbers down this short side. Ends up with Brown. Can't get away from the defender that time, Wayne Brown. Couple of plays left in this set. As the ball comes back to the middle to Brown. And again, he's grabbed around the ankles. Still takes 3 to drag him down though, Clancy Brown. So we've got the last here now. The ball comes to the right to Schofield, and Schofield, a little grubber, tries to put a little grubber in behind. It's well picked up by Sanders, and he's going to race away, Sanders. There's no one in front of him, but Gill's coming across, and he herds him up quite well there, Jared Gill. Does very well. Can't quite finish the tackle off. Eventually does, though. Yeah, great chase from Jared Gill.
He wasn't going to get away from Jared Gill. He's pretty fast.
But Woolgoolga once again turning defence into attack and being right on the front foot here with an 18-point lead, a 16-point lead, as Gill once again making his presence known on the field with a good shot over the top on Schumann there. Here's Burrows now. He's eventually put down on the 20-metre line. He's stayed down a little bit as well. So Troy Robinson comes in with a little bit of a tap on the melon. It's a bit of an interesting play, as Carter does a magic trick out on the right-hand side there to be able to hold onto the ball. And now he grabs it for himself. There's Chases back there, and he's going to score, Carter. No, he's going to knock it on, says the referee. And there's some push and shove, but there was some great play out there. That's Dylan Carter, the fullback for Woolgoolga. Managed to, I don't know how he managed to hang on to the ball in the first place. Scooted down the right-hand side, puts in a little grabber for himself, but can't get the put down. So the Axemen breathe a sigh of relief on that play.
Definitely was some pushing and shoving in the middle.
And they still stay 22 points to 6, but there is only 3 minutes left to go in the clash, so the time a real factor for the Axemen here this afternoon. A little bit of frustration building, and Woolgoolga coming in hard and fast. So there's a bit of feeling out there now once there might be a bit of some friends out there, Schumann and Watson, potentially off-field friends, sharing a bit of a laugh after some strong contact. Dion Marsh struggles his way up to the 42-metre point on the field. There's a great short ball there from Andy Gardner. Puts Kennedy through. Dragged down by the bootlaces there. Great work from Shannon Kennedy. He has a ripper game this afternoon in a side that's been on the back foot most of it. As the long ball gets Lacey on the outside, and he can't keep his footing there, Scott Lacey. Very slow play of the ball again there's push and shove. And the tap and goes taken from Scott Lacey, but he's going to be inside the 10, so he can't take a quick one there.
Only if.
So there's been some push and shove out that side, that right-hand side. I think that's Reece Sadler out there. And they're still exchanging words, Sadler and Lacey.
But once again, we can't take the time off. So you want to sit there and have a bit of a ruffle. You can't take the time off. So time's going to keep pushing on.
So we've only got about a
minute 40.
We've got a minute 40 left to play. We'll see if the Axemen can get a consolation try in the dying minutes of this clash. As Andy Gardner's dragged down about 5 out from the line, comes right to Robinson onto Schofield. He shows inside and takes on the line himself, Schofield, but can't beat Sanders, who wraps him up in a strong tackle. Slow to his feet, Schofield. Short ball there. Kennedy crash play off Dyson, but they read that well, the Woolgoolga defence. No way through for Kennedy on that occasion. They come to the right here. Long ball out, and Giles Donovan's going to cross. They do eventually crack.
Great to see. Great feeling.
They do eventually crack the Woolgoolga defence in the dying moments of this clash. Troy Robinson with a beautiful cutout ball to Giles Donovan, and no one deserves a try more this afternoon than Giles. He's been,
most definitely.
Been one of the shining lights in a beaten side this afternoon, Giles, with his kick returns and his kick chases. And he's crossed late, so that'll push the score to 10 points to 22. Kick to come for the Axemen. Troy Robinson, see if he can knock this one on. Moves in pretty quickly now, strikes it, sprays it out to the right, so unable to convert. The score's going to remain 22 points to 10, and that will be pretty much all she wrote for this afternoon's clash. So there's about 10 seconds left to go on the clock as time's ticking away. Woolgoolga look in no hurry to get us restarted here, so it's going to be all she wrote for this afternoon's clash. Woolgoolga running out victors 22 points to 10 over your Orara Valley Axemen. who put up a good fight,
They sure
but
did.
a couple of quick tries in the first half and backed up by some power running in that second close to the line. Mean that Woolgoolga will get the chocolates here this afternoon. Thanks very much for joining us on our live stream.
Stick around for first grade too.
Make
should
sure
be a
you
good one.
jump over to the first grade live stream for the top of table clash between the first place Woolgoolga Seahorses and the second place Orara Axemen. Myself and Jared will see you back here very shortly.
We sure will.
Go the Axemen.
Final scores there.